What's going on, y'all? Straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. Please hit the like button. Make sure you sub to the channel if you are not a member. And also hit the notifications to get all of my content as well as all of my videos. Salute to the whole entire LDBC. Uh, Basketball and boxing. Let's get right to this, man. Now, as you know, LeBron has been cleared for physical contact workouts, um, and he's set to come back sometime in mid-November. Brown Sugar, beautiful. Salute. How you doing, sweetie? Hope you feeling all right this evening. Brown Sugar, grinding hard out there, as she always does. Independent woman. And make sure Webby is spelling it right. INDE. Anyway, now, hope you're doing all right, gorgeous. Now, here's the thing, man. LeBron is set to come back, and we got to ask ourselves a question. Some of you might already know the answer. Some of you may not. You know, will LeBron come back and keep his ego in check and not ego trip, not cause a disruption to the 7-2 record that they have right now, to the great chemistry that Austin Reeves and Luca and DeAndre Ayton and the rest of those guys have, Rui, and can't forget about the coaching, as well as JJ Reddick, JJ Redneck, and the coaching job that he's done. Will he be able to keep his ego in check? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. And here's the thing about it, man. Like, a lot of people, like myself, really feel that it is in the best interest of the team for LeBron to not only take a step back, man, but also just go ahead and leave the organization because, like, I would say about like 9, 10 years ago, if there was a situation, like this, or even about like 6 years ago, if there was a situation where LeBron was getting ready to come back, it was worldwide news. Everybody and their mama knew about it. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was like, "Oh wow, LeBron is set to come back." All this other stuff. If there was any time where he missed a significant amount of time, but this is a new day and time. The Lakers have moved on. They're 7-2, like I said, right now. They beat a scorching hot Spurs team that had only lost one, in an MVP candidate in Victor Wembanyama, and they're showing that they don't even need LeBron for that matter. Here's the thing about it: in a perfect world, which we do not live in, many people would want LeBron to not only leave, but if he was to stay, many people would want him to take a step back, do what's better, for the betterment of the team, which some people would have wanted him to, take a significant pay cut so that you could bring more people in there with the goal of winning the championship instead of being about stats. However, this guy not going to be able to handle the attention that Luca is getting. He's not going to be able to handle the progression of Austin Reeves. He's just not going to be able to do it. And here's my thing: a lot of people, they want guys like myself and a few others. They want me not to tell the truth in this situation, but it's got to be said. He does not need to be there. Now, if LeBron was, let's say, like a Tim Duncan, okay, I'll use Tim Duncan as the as the as the measuring because Tim Duncan was one of those players who did not have an ego and did what was for the betterment of the organization in order to win championship. He took a pay cut. He was able to get some other guys in there, some youthful talent and everything, and let the Spurs go through, the other tandem that was there, whether it was Tony Parker, who was a little bit younger, such as Manu Ginobili, who was a little bit younger, and then for a short period of time, Kawhi Leonard, who was obviously younger than all of them. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. LeBron is not Tim Duncan. He's not Tim Duncan, man. He's not Tim Duncan at all. And his ego would not be able to handle it. Look, we all have an ego to a certain degree. Some of us have a bigger ego than the next. But it's how you handle it, man. And this is the thing. Charles Barkley already said that LeBron is old. Okay, like, listen, there's no shame in being old, man. Like, not when it comes to basketball years. There's no shame in that because basketball is a taxing sport. Uh, you know, for all these other sports, that it's rough on the body. And yes, it's a blessing that you're still playing at 40 and everything, but at the same time, these this organization needs to move on. And this league needs to carry on. They can't keep marketing around you, thinking that it's okay. Okay, yeah, you're 40 and everything. You're 40, but you're sitting down with quote unquote sciatica. Now, some people think he's bullshitting about the sciatica because he's been doing other stuff like going to the baseball games, going, doing golfing, and you know, on social media with Kai and all that. But the thing about it is, a lot of people think that it's more of you pouting because you don't get what you want. You're 40, about to be 41 years old. At this stage of your life, you should be more of a mentor, or at this stage of your basketball life, you should be more of a mentor. You should be showing guys how to be professional because the likelihood of you getting a ring is slim to none. Now, the Lakers are doing pretty good, but I still don't think that they have enough to beat an OKC team. DeAndre Ayton, he playing good, playing great. He played great yesterday. But the thing about it is, how's he going to pan out against an OKC team who obviously are the champions? How is he going to pan out against some of these these better teams in the West? I mean, you did good last night, but let's see how you do with these other teams now. And more importantly, how is he going to fit with you being in the lineup? That's another thing. What I'm more concerned about is how these other players are going to be affected with you being in the lineup because of the ego that you have. Are you going to come back and then you're going to start automatically disrupting the chemistry and the cohesiveness that these guys got? That's what we got to ask ourselves. And I don't think he could do it. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe he could come in there. Maybe he would do the unthinkable and say, "Hey, you know what? Let me come off the bench." I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Now, if it was me and I was in this situation and I felt and I'm looking from afar, we're winning, and y'all are doing better. You know what I'm saying? Without me, if I feel like okay, it's best for me to just go ahead and come off the bench, no problem. That's what I'll do. If it's gonna help us win, y'all y'all call me when you need me. Case in point, Kobe Bryant, man. This is what we got to look at. Okay, Kobe Bryant, when he played for the USA team, okay, with LeBron and Melo and all them on there. Kobe's focus was defense. That's what his main focus was. He wasn't focused on offense. He wasn't focused on being the guy and none of that other stuff. He was doing what was best for the betterment of the team, that redeemed team. Okay, with Krzyzewski. Kobe, at that stage of his career, he could have been like, you know what? No, I'm still that guy. I still run shit. It's still my league, so to speak. And just went in, took over, and all this other stuff. He said, no, I'll come in there when you need me. Well, not off the bench because he wasn't starting and everything, but I'll be the offensive juggernaut that you need me to be. And that's what he did when he saw that things were, starting to get out of hand, and such as a game, certain games or whatever. And then I always go back to that last game when he played against Spain and everything, and he turned it on offensively because for all of pretty much all of the Olympics, he was all about defense. Yes, he would come out, do offense, you know, and be that juggernaut, when they needed him to. But that was only when they needed him to, and that was the beauty of having a guy like Kobe Bryant. He was willing to put his ego to a side, which a lot of people didn't think that he would was able to do. And Kobe did have an ego, just like MJ had an ego, just like Bird had an ego. All of these guys had an ego to a certain extent. Some of the guys' egos were through the roof. But LeBron needs to understand that this is Luka team. Another thing is, man, that I don't think a lot of people really are really processing. They have to understand that Luka's favorite player is LeBron. Okay, that's his favorite player. So Luka, man, I think that once he's got a glimpse of playing with LeBron and being able to be around him and things of that nature, because it's different from okay, you growing up watching this guy and everything overseas and stuff like that, and then you actually being in the locker room with him and all this other stuff, and being on on the plane with him, and it's a big difference because then you're getting to learn him. I think Luca has reached a point now where he's like, okay, well, I play much better without you. You can see it in his body language, and that's why I feel like, okay, why get in the way? And it's listen, it's not just LeBron. I'm looking at the situation with De'Aaron Fox too, which I'm gonna talk about a little bit later. But I really don't feel that it's necessary for him to come back and disrupt the because fans are actually they have something to cheer about. Now you got some hyper LeBron maniacs, LeBron fans that are coming out here. They're mad and they disgruntled and stuff like that. That the Lakers are winning without him, man. That goes to show you that you're not truly a Lakers fan. That's what it goes to show. Is not going to be able to handle it. Now, like I said, if there's a case where these guys surge while LeBron is in the lineup and they start doing good, and you haven't heard any reports about LeBron and his ego, and these guys are getting along and stuff like that, and their record ain't slipping. These guys are clicking. Then it'll have to be seen. And like I said, in a perfect world, a lot of people will want this to work out. I mean, I'm apprehensive to even think that it will work out because, and very hesitant because I'm just like, we've seen this before. We've seen the writing on the wall before, man. We know what's gonna happen once this dude comes back. And if you notice, it's been such a joy without LeBron being there with those other guys, man. They look so happy. They look like they're having fun out there. And look, don't get me wrong, Luke is about business. Austin Reeves, even though he's out right now, he's about business. And DeAndre Ayton, I don't know. I can't really say that DeAndre Ayton. I mean, I like DeAndre Ayton as a player, but to say that he's about business, he hasn't been about business the last couple of seasons. But maybe him being in LA, that would change his thought process. But you got to wonder, man, how things are gonna pan out, how things are gonna play. I really don't think that he's gonna be able to come out here, put his ego to a side, and allow allow these other guys to go ahead and continue playing the way that he could. Look, if if LeBron was able to just take a step back, come off the bench, not even handle the rock that much, but then move without the ball, I don't think he realizes that how much more dangerous they could be. Like LeBron moving without the ball and just handling the rock every now and then. You know what I'm saying? But you moving without the ball and then you catching back doors and then you'll have two lob threats that Luca and what's his name, Austin Reeves and a couple other guys, maybe even Rui, could throw that thing up to you, man, and catch it. I don't think he realizes how dangerous they could be. But see, that's just me looking from the outside in, man. That's me looking from the outside in. Everybody sees it. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I'm able to give constructive criticism and instead of just just bashing the dude and being destructive all the time. But it's not really even me being destructive. It's just telling the truth. We're telling the truth, and we know that it's not going to work. But I think that that's what people would want to see. Because they want to see winning basketball. Then when you get, oh, you're losing and stuff like that. Who you think they're going to try? The media's going to try their best. I think when he comes back, and hopefully this don't take place, then they're going to start pointing the finger. They're going to be like, oh well, Luka was playing good, but then once LeBron came back, guess what? Now he's shooting this way, and man, you know how they do. And the fact that the Lakers, it's looking like they won this trade because now you got all those people, you got all those players in Dallas. Dallas is just going through, man. Dallas is just going through it right now. A lot of people feel like Jason Kidd should be on the hot seat. A lot of people feel like AD this trade didn't work out. And the Lakers are surging. They don't have LeBron, and Dallas is just pitiful. And I don't. And this is another thing too. A lot of people think that when Kyrie comes back, they're gonna win the championship and all this other stuff, and they're a championship team. No, they're not, man. They got good talent on there, but none of them can stay healthy. Kyrie has been hurt before. Okay, now we got to see how he's gonna come back with his ACL. AD, we don't need to mention him. He stay hurt. You got a young guy in Cooper Flag who still needs to prove himself as that number one guy, and still gonna have to learn. It's gonna take him a minute to learn. You got like guys like Gafford and PJ Washington and Lively. I mean, as good as those guys are, they can't stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? And it's not no fault towards some of the injuries that they've had. I know Lively's situation. He had a concussion. PJ Washington, you know what I'm saying? He had an injury he couldn't really control, and Gafford, because those guys are hard workers, but they're not a championship team. They're not a championship team. Even if they was healthy, I don't think that they would have the capability to make it, because we're talking about AD. We're not talking about a durable guy. Okay, when AD is healthy, okay, this guy is seen as the number one player. At one point, at last season, AD at the beginning of the season, they were calling him the number one. He was playing at an MVP level. After that, it was downhill from there. It was downhill from there. But I just don't think he's going to mesh well. These guys are learning to play without you having to without having to depend on you, and it's got to be like that, because when you're gone, I mean that's pretty much going to be the end. So they might as well get used to it right now. Honestly, I think it's good that LeBron is doing this and sitting back, because it gives them a chance to see, okay, how are we going to look without having LeBron? And a lot of people are loving it. A lot of Lakers fans, the true hardcore Lakers fans on YouTube. I'm not talking about just like LeBron fans who come over to the Lakers. No, I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the guys that truly love the Lakers. They are so excited, man, about watching basketball again. I mean, you You got a brother Chicken TV up in here, urging him to come off the bench. I mean, people are ready and excited to see excuse me, basketball again, Lakers basketball again. And I know this too. I'm gonna say this too, man. Everybody has been critical of JJ Redick. Now, I still don't think that he's as good as of a coach as what Darvin Ham was. That's just my opinion. I mean, Darvin Ham, he wasn't the perfect coach, but this is the guy with LeBron and AD was able to go to the Western Conference Finals, right? And to me, it's not the finals and it's not a championship, but it's an expectation that JJ Redick needs to meet. He has to meet that. He has to meet or exceed that in order for me to get that nod. Now, is he playing? I mean, is he coaching good right now? Yes. I mean, he is. I give him credit and everything. But the real season starts in February after All Star. That's when the real season starts. So let's see how he holds up then, because we knew what the problem was last year too. He didn't he didn't know what he was doing in terms of his rotation. And then you sit there, you're playing guys, uh, 40 minutes plus. You're playing your main guys, all of your main people, 40 minutes plus, and rarely using your bench when you need it to. You know that it's just situations like that. Are you going to make that mistake again? Because on mind the bullshit or mind the game, the podcast, you were talking like you were Aristotle. You were talking like you were Einstein uh, or one of these scholars, like these basketball scholars and stuff like that. Yeah, you knew the knowledge talking about it. Now you have got a glimpse of what it's truly like. It's much different than coaching a bunch of kids on a whole nother level or on a lower level. No, this is you're talking to grown men. You're talking to guys that know the game. You're talking to some guys that are way better than you, way more talented than you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are going to question you because they're going to be like, well, first question they're going to say is, what did you achieve? What did you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are your credentials? What you bring to the table? Why should we listen to you? And I don't think that the media really gave him enough enough uh, enough slack as to why they lost last season. But a big reason why they did lose because of that, because of JJ Redick's coaching. Man. But we'll have to see what happens, man. I mean, are there people that are excited? Yeah, I'm pretty sure LeBron fans are excited, and they're ready to ready and booing and all this other stuff. But I'm telling you now, man, this organization is ran by the guy who is head honcho of the Dodgers. Now they really have expectations. LA is on fire right now. You know what I'm saying? Like they are hot right now. You got Magic Johnson excited. You know what I'm saying? Up in there talking at the Dodgers game. They're like LA is back. You know what I'm saying? So now they're ready to get the Lakers on board. And this guy right here, man, I'll be honest with you. This dude this dude could care less about how LeBron is feeling. That because it's not about all these people that try to come in here. You know, my brother, no pain, but he's talking all this. It's not your team anymore, man. And Bus, Doctor Jerry Bus, God rest his soul, man. He would have been done with this ASAP because Doctor Bus, man. Yeah, although he was a great guy to get along with and stuff like that, man. This guy wanted to win, and he wanted to win bad, and he wanted to win by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? Even if it did take a sit down with 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 Red Auerbach, you know what I'm saying? Even if it did mean making a few changes within the organization. This guy wanted to win, man. And that's how the guy that runs the Dodgers, that's how he is. He's not coming in here just to lose, and Brian got to realize that, man. Look, you are 1-4. Luca is on the verge of possibly. Some people feel like Luca could win the championship within the next couple of years. Like I said, that's going to be tough because they're not beating OKC, and OKC is only going to get better. They're still young. These guys are nowhere near being old. Shea, he's older, but he's still in pretty good shape. He doesn't look like he's slowing down. Uh, this guy doesn't get hurt. He doesn't low manage. He doesn't do any of that stuff. Everybody wants to, and then people want to come in here and tell me, oh yeah, Shea's he's not the best player in the league. Shoot, last time I checked, the best player in the league exemplifies what SGA is. That's a guy who comes in, works hard, doesn't miss games, doesn't complain. I mean, this guy could have did what Kawhi and them is doing tonight. Sitting out and stuff like that. Nah, he ain't resting because the Thunder and they haven't lost a game. They have yet to lose a game. And like I said, and they're short-handed. That was part of my reasoning for saying that he's not complaining. I said that earlier. Him not having J Dub this this portion of the season, then him not having Chet Holmgren for a long time last season. That's an MVP because check this out. You take you take SGA off that team. Do you think that Holmgren would be able to carry that team? Nah, that's an MVP in my book because you're taking away a guy that brings that value of winning to your team. You know what I'm saying? You take Shea off. You take him off of that team. Uh, they're not winning. I mean, they might win a few games here and there, but they're not winning. They're not gonna go to no playoffs or none of that. You take Shea off. See, that's a real MVP right there. If they're winning without you, like in the case of this situation that I'm talking about with LeBron, like what are we talking about here? They're not winning without SGA. These guys are winning without LeBron. They're winning without LeBron. Let that sink in. And people doubted Aiden. I ain't gonna lie, man. I used to fuck with DeAndre Aiden. You know what I'm saying? And still do. I just want him to get better. We gonna criticize and cook the guys that we feel like that should be playing at that level. You know what I'm saying? And if they not, they gonna get the smoke. They gonna get this work. But that's all I had, y'all. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, hit them notifications so that you are notified. It's straight to the point, sports and entertainment. Shouts out to the whole entire LDBC. Till then, man, I'm gone.